Now that we're done asking our questions for where land meets sea, we're going to go ahead and do our informal activity together. So go ahead and go to the Google Classroom again and find the fact or opinion worksheet that's under our reading lesson for today, and we're going to go ahead and fill it out together. Just like in our order of events activity, I went ahead and printed out what you should be looking at on our Google Classroom page right now. You should be able to type in your answers right here, but I'm going to go ahead and write them out just because it's going to be easier to show you. So go ahead and have this pulled up and we're going to go ahead and start it. So this activity is called fact or opinion, and I'm going to go ahead and read the definition of a fact and a definition of opinion just so we can review before we begin. So a fact is something that can be proven true, and an opinion states a person or group's thoughts, feelings, or beliefs about something. All right, so now that we're refreshed on what a fact and what an opinion is, let's go ahead and read our directions. So our directions say to read each statement and decide if the statement is a fact or an opinion, and record your answer on the blank at the end of each sentence. And so for number 1, you're going to type in your answer. I'm going to go ahead and write it out. So number 1 says that crabs are the cutest ocean habitat creatures. Is that a fact or an opinion? Go ahead and type in your answer. I'm going to write my answer. Okay. I believe that it is an opinion because that is something that is just a belief. Someone might think that fish are the cutest ocean creature, or someone might believe that sharks are the cutest ocean creature. So that is an opinion. Number 2, a pelican's beak has a big pouch which it uses to scoop up fish. Is that a fact or an opinion? Go ahead and type in your answer. Number 2 is a fact because that is something that can be proven true. Number 3 says a seashore is any place where land meets sea or ocean. Is that a fact or an opinion? Type in your answer. Number 3 is a fact, something that can be proven true. And number 4 says a trip to the ocean is the best vacation. Is that a fact or an opinion? Go ahead and type in your answer into the box. And number 4 is an opinion. That is just something that somebody can believe, but it doesn't mean it's necessarily true. Somebody can think that going to a mountain with snow on it is the best vacation. So number 4 is also just an opinion. Okay, and then down here it says, using the lines below, type 3 facts that you learned from the text. So you're going to type here, here, and here, and then you're going to submit this into our Google Classroom. Now that we're done with both activities, we're going to go ahead and reread both of these books, but before we begin reading, we're going to ask ourselves some questions. So the first question we're going to ask is, what do I remember from Where the Wild Things Are? Then you're going to ask yourself, what do I remember from When Land Meets Sea? So you might need to be thinking about the similarities and the differences between these two books. You might need to be thinking about what you liked, what you didn't like about each book, what you remember, any facts from the books, any characters from the books. Go ahead and write down a couple sentences, and then we're going to review our during reading questions. And again, here are the written out questions for before you begin reading. Now, while you are rereading both books, go ahead and be asking yourself during your reading, what connections can you make to the stories? Which book is fiction or nonfiction? And how do you know? And also, have you been to the beach? Which of these landforms and animals have you noticed at the beach? Go ahead and pause this video and come back here whenever you are done rereading both books. All right, now that we're done rereading both books, let's use our after reading questions. How is the setting important to each book? Which book did you prefer and why? If the wild things moved to the beaches from where land meets sea, how would the story change? And would you rather explore a marsh or a sandbar, and why? Feel free to pause the video right here to make sure that you're answering all of our after reading questions. Now that we're done rereading both books and answering all of our before, during, and after questions, we're going to go ahead and move into the independent assessment for today. So our independent activity for today is called Invent a Sea Creature. You know real sea creatures, for example, fish, crabs, and jellyfish. Now invent your own. Give your creature a name, then draw what it looks like. Here are some things to ask yourself. Does it have fins, arms, legs, maybe even all three? Does it swim underwater or live on the seashore? What color is it? Is it a scary creature or a cute and cuddly one? Write a few sentences describing what your creature does throughout the day. During this fun activity, you get to be super creative, and the first thing you're going to do is create your creature. So on the top box here, you're going to create your creature. Remember, you're going to use as much detail as you can. You can take some knowledge that you learned from both our fiction and nonfiction books today, and you can submit or insert a picture if you want to into the first box on the top, or you can go ahead and draw it with your mouse on your computer or your tablet. And then when you're done creating and coloring and being super creative on the top, you're going to get to also be creative on the bottom, where you're going to type out your story. And you can tell us what your creature does throughout the day, or you can make up a story about its habitat and where it lives and what it does every day. You get to be super creative here, but just try and think back to all the questions that we asked from both books and use that detail that you answered in those questions to help make your own story. Again, I know how much you guys love to be creative, so I already know that you're going to love creating your own seed creature and you're going to love creating a story for them. So if you want to go a step further, it is not mandatory at all. This is not going to be graded. Go ahead and create your sea creature, including any of the art supplies that you already have in your home. No need to go out to the store and buy anything. If you have any paper, markers, paint, Play-Doh, feathers, googly eyes, anything like that, go ahead and use those supplies to create your sea creature and have your typed out story next to you and handy whenever we have our next Zoom meeting, and we're going to share with each other what our sea creatures look like and the story that we came up for them. Wrapping up this lesson, again, I wish I could be there to do this lesson with you face to face, but I'm so happy that I get to do these video lessons for you, and I hope you really, really love the stories that we read today, and I hope that you're going to enjoy creating your own sea creatures and getting to have fun with our lesson. Again, if you have any questions, go ahead and go into our Google Classroom and enter your questions into the comment box, and Miss Bell or I will get back to you as soon as we can. I miss you guys, and I cannot wait to see your little smiling faces on our next Zoom meeting. Bye.